Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah to all my brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Aladam Bashem Yahushua to all my sisters. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of GEN.YAHANNA. You know what I'm saying? This is historical truths revealed class. My name is Officer Bariah. I'm substituting in for Officer Maccabia, you know what I'm saying, in Minneapolis. So we're going to go ahead and rock it out. All right. So what I really wanted to go over today in the history class is I want to show Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people how slavery in Egypt is the same as in America. And I'm going to bring out some history, bring out some scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and bring out some other knowledge on how you know it's slavery in America and in Egypt. It's the same thing. That's why the scriptures say America is the daughter of Babylon. And in the scriptures, it always compares, America and Babylon. It always compare America and, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's because in today's society, the modern society, they adopt cultures and histories and put it all in one ball. That's why you have these presidents talking about one world order. Then you got the Christian church talking about let's all join together. You know what I'm saying? Muslim saying the same thing. Buddha saying the same thing. All of these religions and doctrines all want people to do the same thing. They all want you to come together in a big old rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Rainbow coalition. You know what I'm saying? That's why even here in Minneapolis, they had a Pride Week this past Sunday when they had pride in being homosexuals running up and down the street. You know what I'm saying? Damaging, you know what I'm saying, the children out there that'd be out there, you know what I'm saying, putting that spirit of homosexuality on the kids and other people. They're predators. They're preying on innocent people, preying on innocent children. That's what they're doing, pushing that homosexual agenda. You know what I'm saying? And they pushing that agenda because it's bringing everybody together. Now they're going to push pedophilia to bring them together. You know what I'm saying? All this is everybody trying to come together to fight against God. That's what it is. You ever heard of the Tower of Babel? The daughter of Babel, America, is doing the same thing. They're trying to bring everybody together. Everybody speak one language, one tongue, and they're all going to try to battle against the Lord. How you know this is true is that you got Donald Trump on the TV screen talking about he's building Star Wars, Space Galactica. You know what I'm saying? He's building that for what, though? To fight against the Lord. You know, in the scriptures, the chariots of God, the so-called UFOs, those are the chariots of God. And that's in the Bible. A lot of people don't know that. Chariots or so-called UFOs are in the Bible. The only men that know that, the only people who know that is the men in the I.S.U.P.K, man. If you don't know that by now, you sleep. You know what I'm saying? You call yourself a conscious community, or you sleeping on these scriptures, because this book is real. And I'm about to show you that in these scriptures. I'm about to show you how the slavery that it was speaking of in the Bible is the same slavery it's talking about today. It's prophecies in this book, in this Bible, saying that if the Lord's chosen people, if Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people did not hearken unto the voice of the Lord, that they are going into slavery again. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go ahead and get that scripture real quick and read it for you. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grab that real quick. it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. If you know any history or if you've done any research, you know that the word Egypt is a Greek word. It's a Greek word meaning bondage or slavery. Even in the scriptures, if you go to Exodus chapter 20, verse 2, it'll say, here, let me grab that real quick. In the scriptures, it even says, it defines what it's speaking of. You know what I'm saying? It says, Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Egypt is. The Lord said he's going to bring thee into Egypt, the house of bondage again. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, it says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. What other nation of people or nationality have you known have all went into slavery with ships, went into the house of bondage with ships? You're not going to find that nowhere else but the transatlantic slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Black people, so-called Negroes, so-called black people, Hispanics and Native Indians all went into the house of bondage. A lot of people think that only Negroes was the only ones to go into slavery with ships. But if you do some research, you will know that the Hispanics and Native Indians, when the Spaniards came over, you know what I'm saying, the conquistadors came over, they were going to war with them and taking them into slavery, putting them on ships and sending them back to Spain. A lot of people don't know that, and they don't teach you that in the history books. That the only reason they teach you slavery at all is because everybody knows about the slavery in America. They say only Negroes went into slavery, but they don't tell you about the history of the Native Indians and the Hispanics going into slavery. They went into the same type of bondage. You know what I'm saying? It's quotes of Columbus saying he brought a few thousand Native Indians and Hispanics over to Spain. All of them died except 300, and he said that was good business. You can look this quote up. It's in the books. It's in the history books, man. But a lot of people out here, a lot of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people aren't reading. You know what I'm saying? They have not finished not one book in their whole entire life. That's what's going on. You read half a book and put it down and go, you know what I'm saying, play 2K 18. That's what you do. But it's some real knowledge in the Bible, especially in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people listen to the white man and say that he wrote the book, when of course he's going to say that, because this is the history of the greatest people to ever live, the history of the greatest man who ever lived. You know what I'm saying? And that's Christ. Of course he's going to say he wrote it. Of course he's going to try to put himself in that role, because that's what he does. The scriptures say the white man is a vagabond and a fugitive. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a home. And they're fugitives because why? Because they murder people unjustly. It's been a lot of unarmed Black men and women dying at the hands of the white man, murdering them down in the street for no reason, because they got Skittles and Arizonas. That does not give them the right to murder them, and they're not going to jail. The scriptures say, who hold themselves not guilty. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold themselves guilty. If I had my reader, I could pull that scripture up, but you know what I'm saying? we got a little time. We'll rock it out until my reader gets here. But according to the scriptures, that's what the white man is. He's a vagabond, a fugitive, no place to go. That's why everywhere he goes, he rapes, robs, and steals their culture and paint the likeness of his images on their walls. He burns their history and writes his own history in their place. That's what he does. Why you think, what do you think Egyptology is exactly? Egyptology is not made by so-called Africans. It's made by the white man. The white man went over to Africa, dug up their bones, their mummies, stole their goods out of their pyramids, and wrote their history down, how they saw fit. They translated all of them walls. You call yourself a Kemetic scholar, but all that information you got came from the white man. But then y'all try to come at us saying that we read the white man's book. That's hilarious. Well, we can prove that Egyptology was created by a white man. It's proven. We can prove that. It's in the history. You know what I'm saying? But slavery in America and slavery in Egypt is the same. Want to know why? Because Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people was in slavery in Egypt. And we can prove that. The scriptures just said, and the Lord shall bring me into Egypt again with ships. No other nation of people been, as a whole, been into slavery. Even the men and women in, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, you know what I'm saying, the Haitians, all of them are people. You know what I'm saying? We all come from one man. We're 12 different tribes from Israel. We are the Lord's chosen people. This right here, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people going into slavery with ships again, that's a curse from the Lord. And that's prophesied in the Bible. In the scriptures, we all know, you learn in your little Christian church at least, that Moses, after they left the captivity and slavery in Egypt, he spoke unto the people, telling them that the people, meaning Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, the only nation that was there at the time with Moses, no other nationality, no other race, no other nation was with Moses but Israel, but Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. All one nation. One people inherited these laws, statutes, and commandments. Moses wrote it in stone and told the people, if you do this, you are going to die. If you do that, this is going to happen to you. So going into slavery again with ships, that's a curse. And I'm about to read that. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee upon high above all nations on the earth. Moses told this to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. He said, if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to be the greatest people on the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people are the best people on the face of the earth, something's wrong with you. No one has more flavor and sauce than us. No one has more style than us. You know what I'm saying? No one's stronger than us, run faster than us, jump higher than us. It's because we're the Lord's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, if we hearken unto his voice and do what he said, we are going to be on top of everybody. We are going to rule the nations. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people were supposed to be ruling above the white man, above the Arabs, the Africans, the Asians. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be on top. But since we want to sin and eat pork chop sandwiches, crab sandwiches, you know what I'm saying? Since we want to say the laws is done away with, that's why we're being destroyed. And that's why we are in Egypt, in bondage, in slavery again, by the way of ships. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for all of this. When you grow up in the white man society and his you know, his education system, he teaches you that you're just a slave. That's it. That's all of your history. You wake up, you were born, you're just a slave. He teaches you in the American schools to be a docile, obedient nigga. That's what the white man teaches you. Teaches every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian person. That's what he teaches you. He teaches you were born a slave. Listen, that's what he teaches you. He does not teach you your culture, your history, your language. Know what I'm saying? The white man knows exactly who he has in slavery. He knows your nationality and history. Why do you think that they didn't allow Negroes to read? You want to know why? Because in that Christian church during slavery time, they had your history. All you had to do was read it. You know what I'm saying? This Bible is your history book. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, this is your history. It tells you exactly why you're in the predicament that you're in. You want to know why you're in slavery and suffering? You want to know why you're in a hellish condition right now in a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community? You want to know why this is? It's because you sinning against the Lord. You want to love white people more than your own people. You want to join all of these other nations before you join a nigger in a hood. Before you fight and kill for your own, for a nigga in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You will rather kiss the white man's ass, kiss the Arab's ass, the Asian's ass, the African's ass, than to come together as a people. You know what I'm saying? To strive together. The scriptures say, come together, O nation not desired. Black people are the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people are the world's most hated nation. If you don't believe me, you can look at the border right now in America. Donald Trump got ICE agents tossing innocent people into slavery. You know that the 14th Amendment says if you're in prison, you don't have rights. You can be a slave. It's over 2 million Black people locked up right now. 2 million, look it up. And they're being forced to work for little to nothing. They're locked down damn near 24 hours a day, living like animals in cages because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because you don't want to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You don't want to live right and live a righteous life. But the reason why you in slavery is because the Lord said, if you didn't hearken unto the voice, unto these commandments, if you did not keep them, if you did not do them, then you'll be cursed. And that's all throughout the scriptures. Right here it's saying the curses for disobeying God right here. This is the curses. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. It says, it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, if you do not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You wondering why you in such a hellish condition in the hood right now? Why crack and heroin, mollies, weed, you know what I'm saying, You wonder why people so drunk and high out their mind in your community? It's because them curses are overtaking Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. Because you want to listen to your Christian pastor tell you it's okay to eat a pork chop sandwich and to be a homosexual. That's why you in a hellish condition. That's why you suffering and dying the way that we are. No matter how much you beg the white man for justice and peace, it will not come to you. You know what I'm saying? You never supposed to trust your enemy in the first place. The scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. The white man is your enemy, and I'm about to prove it right now. We can go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. You're not going to see your homeland again. You're not going to have your culture, your history, your language. That's going to be taken away from you. And then it says, and there you shall be sold to your enemies. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, were sold to your enemy. The white man in America is your enemy, man. Why don't you think so? Don't you think all the, lynchings that they did of Black people, don't you think that was something done by an enemy? You know what I'm saying? Don't you think? All the burnings and murdering of innocent Black men in America, don't you think that was someone who's not your friend? Someone who's out to hurt you and kill you? Someone who has a perpetual hatred for you? Don't you think that? You know what I'm saying? The white man is not your friend. He just got done murdering down a 15-year-old last week, a few days ago. How is this man you know what I'm saying? How are you going to join someone who's consistently murdering you purposely? They could have easily tased him again after he got up. They could have tackled him. You know what I'm saying? They could have did something else to detain this man instead of murdering him in the street. I'm sure they did not fear their life. If someone is running away from you, how are you scared for your life? They're running away. You got guns pointed at them. You got tasers in nightclubs and nightsticks, beating them upside the head. But you're the one that says you're terrified and afraid. You know what I'm saying? The white man in America has a perpetual hatred, a continuous hatred for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. And he's always going to have that hatred because that's the spirit of the white man. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to understand. You were sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no one's going to save you out of this captivity, out of this slavery. You have not seen not one African in a canoe coming over to save a nigga, not one. You know what I'm saying? But also, I also want to touch on how another way you can prove that this slavery and bondage is the same as it was in Egypt. We're going to pull up an article on, the history in Egypt. Because if you pay attention to how the structures is set up in America, you will know that, of course, the plainest one you could see is a dollar bill, right? You get a $1 bill, you turn it around, you see that pyramid on the back. That's because this is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people being in bondage again with ships. That's what Deuteronomy 28 and 68 says. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 breaks down to you how If you didn't listen to the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going into slavery. And Egypt, you're going to be bound, sold to your enemies. We just read that in the scriptures. You can read it yourself. It's in any King James Bible, man. King James Version Bible, not that new translation garbage. You need a King James Version Bible. That's it. And in that Bible, it'll tell you that the white man is your enemy. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna grab a little history on, you know, Egypt. I got an article on ancienteU.com or whatever. It's talking about Egyptian science and technology, how their structures and pyramids are, you know what I'm saying, the white man is fascinated by those things. So he's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to try and steal that and make that a part of his culture, because that's what he does. He's a thief and a robber. That's what he does. He steals other people's cultures and history and make it his own, combine it to his society. This is the article. It says, the great temples and monuments of ancient Egypt continue to fascinate and amaze people in the modern day. The sheer size and scope of structures like the Great Pyramid at Gaza or the Temple of Amun and Karnak or the Colossus of Marnan are literally awe-inspiring and naturally encouraging questions regarding how they were built. So really, when the white man looks at Egypt and looks at all their pyramids and all of that stuff that were built off the backs of Black people, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, might I add. These weren't just any people. These weren't just any set of people or nationality or race that were in slavery in Egypt at this time, building these things. You know what I'm saying? Every great kingdom and dynasty were built off the backs of the Lord's chosen people. And it's in the scriptures. And you can find this in history as well. You just got to do a little studying. But Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, woman, and child, just like in America, we built up this society, built up their monuments and their cities. We did the same thing in Egypt. Just like how you look up the history of the White House, how it was built by Black people, by slaves, by bondmen and bondwomen. That's what the White House was built. Just like in Egypt, the pyramids were built by bondmen and bondwomen. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, those are you. It says the white man is inspired and fascinated by the pyramids in this article. And they're going to study it to see how it was built, so they can steal it and put it in their culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to bring me to the information I want to bring out about the Freemasons. Freemasons, you know what I'm saying, are the men who founded America. You can look at the history of America, how it was founded, the history behind the men who signed the Constitution, the history about how the men and women were in secret societies and cults. You got nutballs running around here talking about Illuminati this, Illuminati that, but they ain't talking about how the Illuminati and the Freemasons, the Templars, and all of them are using these religious structures, these religious groups to control the population, control the people. If you go to church every Sunday, then you are in the Illuminati. You are a Satan worshiper. You know what I'm saying? All of that. Because if you out here talking about let's all come together, then you are being played by the white man and played by these so-called Illuminatis and Freemasons. The reason why I want to bring up Freemasonry is because if you look at the history on how Freemasons started out, you will realize that the Freemasons started out studying the history and cultures of Egypt, because after Rome came through and conquered that land, they took all of their gods. They started fascinating, wanting to build, you know, statues and great monuments like in Egypt. So what they did was they brought it back to Rome with them, and they brought their gods, the Roman gods. They brought them back from Egypt as well. You can find that history, because really all Christianity is paganism. Want to know why? Because the Roman Catholic Church, the one who created Christianity, they used that and combined pretty much all Christianity is the combination and the worship of many gods. They say they worship the God of the Bible and do this and do that, worship the God of Israel. But really what they're doing is worshiping multiple gods. Roman Catholic Church, that history is going to open your eyes to exactly what Christianity is, first off, and open your eyes to what Freemasons are. Freemasons, what they do, their premise is they worship God and structures, buildings. You know what I'm saying? And the measurements. They worship the structures, mathematics, and all of that to build the structures this certain type of way, to chart the stars and align the buildings, how the stars is arranged. That's the same thing they did in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. That's how they fashion these streets out here. Same way. You look at that map is drawn that way to map out how they want it to. They be mapping out. Even in Washington, if you look at the way it's laid out, you can tell that it was done with purpose. It's not at random. They designed these things. So like pretty much what they do is draw little symbols and stuff like that and align them to match the stars. That's what they do, because they worship stars. Want to know why they worship stars? It's because Egyptians worship stars. If you look up, I also got a article on Roman religion and Roman gods. They worship everything. In Rome, they believe that everything had a spirit and everything had a divinity behind it. In Rome, they believed that all objects had a spirit, had, you know what I'm saying, power, and they worshiped everything. That's the same as Egyptology. That's the same as Kemet and all of that. That's all the same. Worshiping many gods, and we're gonna bring that out as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back to this article. It says all across the Egyptian landscape rose immense structures thousands of years old, gave rise to many different theories as to their construction, while a number of very significant questions remain unanswered. The simplest explanation for many they found in ancient Egyptian scriptures and texts. So those scriptures and texts that you call the Book of the Dead and this, and that, the white man translated that. You saying we got the Bible from the white man, but your whole religion, Egyptology and Kemet, was translated and written down by the white man. Even if you go to a documentary and watch like 2-3 minutes of it, you will realize that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Really, what they're doing is grasping at straws. They don't know what is real and what's a lie. All it is pretty much is propaganda. Whatever sounds good to them. That's how the white man tells his history. But it says the simplest explanation for many can be found in ancient scriptures and texts, wall paintings, tomb inscriptions, art and artifacts. The ancient Egyptians had extraordinary commands of science and technology. That being said, that's what I want to bring out another point on how slavery in America is the same as Egypt. You got Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people strung out on drugs, you know what I'm saying, being drunk, being whoremongers, being homosexuals. In Egyptology, all on the walls, they got homosexuality. Talking about Geb, this and that, birth to earth. Geb is a woman, but the woman has a penis. That's homosexuality in Kemet in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's bull, BS. But that's how you know that Egypt and slavery in Egypt is the same. Because in this article, it's going to bring out how they had, you know, drugs, they had beer, they had a lot of modern inventions that you thought they wouldn't have back then, but they did. They had alcohol. Even if you can find a few articles on them finding cocaine in the mummies, in the pharaohs and the kings. You know what I'm saying? They found cocaine in them. They were big on opium. You know what I'm saying? Opium was running rampant. They had alcohol back then. They had all types of things that you wouldn't think they had. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people was doing the same thing. That's why the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new. All of these slaveries and all of this suffering that we done before. We've been in slavery before. This ain't the only history we got on slavery. You know what I'm saying? All of this is being done for a reason, because Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people want to sin against the Lord. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going on this. It says ancient monuments and grid temples aside, that the ancient Egyptians invented a number of items which one simply takes for granted in the modern day, like paper, ink, cosmetics, meaning makeup and stuff like that, the toothbrush, toothpaste, even the ancestors of the modern breath mint. So they have breath mints and Tic Tacs and patty wax. They had that in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? And it says, were all invented by the Egyptians. Additionally, they made advances in almost every sphere of knowledge, from the manufacture of simple household goods to beer brewing. That's coming out. That's history. That's in the articles, man. What we say in the I.S.U.P.K is not made up. These scriptures is real, man. You can go over all of these curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. It's gonna match up. Even in the scriptures, it says Pharaoh told the women to abort babies. That's in the scriptures. What do you think Planned Parenthood is? Planned Parenthood is pushing the agenda to murder and commit genocide against Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. Because naturally they know that, you know, having people do abortions is what's going to stop the population from growing. That's what it's doing. Really, what they're trying to do is control the population. That's why they're pushing all of these things like, you know, homosexuality. They pushing abortions. They want you to pop pills to stop you from getting, you know, stop you from having babies, going in there with the scalpel, making eunuchs out of men, tying tubes so the women can't have no more kids. Know what I'm saying? And in today's slavery, the Pharaoh wanted Hebrew women to do abortions as well, man. And they were pushing drugs and alcohol in Egypt too. We just went over that. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going on this article a little bit. It says, household goods to growing beers, engineering and construction and agriculture, medicine, you know what I'm saying? Astronomy, art and literature. They had all of those things, man. They weren't no dummies, butt naked, making mud houses. That's how the white man pushes Africa in today's society, pushes all of that. But then they turn around and worship Egypt for building those type of buildings. Hey, I'll let him in. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They worship Egypt. They worship Egypt and the Egyptian gods. Because what the white man does is he steals your culture and your history, steals everybody else's culture and their history, and paint the likeness of themselves as it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you ready to read? All right. Double time. Because we're gonna grab this. This scripture right here that I'm about to pull shows you the true nature of the white man. Now you sit on this side. It's First Maccabees 3:48. You know what I'm saying? First Maccabees 3:48. Go ahead and grab that. So you can look up history, like I said before, of them finding cocaine in the mummies' tombs and in the mummies' corpses in their bodies. You know what I'm saying? You can find that history. But going back to, you know, the Freemasons and the Illuminati and all of that, really what they want you to do is to come together with everybody. All the time you look on the TV, you hear the president speak. He's talking about one world order coming together. Now you got Trump on the TV talking about UFOs and flying saucers, making Star Galactica and Star Wars. That's what he's doing, because they know that in the scriptures, the Lord is going to put them to death. In World War III, they know the chariots of the Lord is out there, man, and they're trying to do whatever they can to hold on to their rulership. If you go to hold that and grab Isaiah 14. No, never mind. Don't grab that. But in Isaiah chapter 14, it breaks down exactly what's going to happen to the white man and exactly what his mind state is in America. His mind state is to paint himself as God. That's what his mindset is. That's why you find white homosexual Caesar Borgia painted as Christ, the greatest man who ever lived. But the scriptures say he was a black man. But this is what they did. Grab that scripture.
Come. First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law.
They laid open the book of the law and painted themselves as these people. They say that they're the Jew. They say that you're a heathen and they're the Jew, when it's the other way around. They say that that's their land and that's their culture and history, when it's the other way around. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say the white man, Edom, Esau, he is a fugitive and a vagabond. Go ahead.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
You can pull up history and research on what's called whitewashing. Because a lot of people don't know that black people was ruling in Europe. Black people was ruling then. King James was a black man, but they painted the likeness of their rulers. They call it the Dark Ages. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to do some research, some history, man. Jump back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68 again. You need to know that the white man is going to try to destroy you in any way possible to keep you docile and obedient to his way of life. For you to be continue to be a slave in America. That's why he's pushing homosexuality, Christianity, talking about Christ was a rainbow and all this and that. I ain't never seen a rainbow man walking around unless he was a clown. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
You are in Egypt again. You are in servitude. You are in the house of bondage again. Keep going.
With ships.
Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people were brought over here by ships and taken from here to Spain by ships. Go ahead.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee.
He told you in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15, that if you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, if you don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord, if you don't do what he told you to do, then you are going to be in slavery again with ships again. You know what I'm saying? Grab verse 15.
Come.
That's just how it is. You got to wake up and realize that you are the Lord's chosen people. Moses was only speaking to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, speaking to the Lord's chosen people when that prophecy was told unto them. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If you don't hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, if you go to Christian church talking about the laws is done away with, it's okay to eat pork chop sandwiches, it's okay to be a homosexual, it's okay, God got you, then go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments,
go ahead,
and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses.
All of these what?
These curses.
What is a black man getting shot down in the street? What is that?
These curses.
What is the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man suffering and dying in the hood? What is that?
These curses.
Keep going.
Shall come upon thee.
You being in servitude, you being enslaved, you wanting to love the white man more than your own people, that's a curse. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people is walking around today with a mental condition called Stockholm Syndrome. Because the white man teaches you been a slave. That's it. That's your whole history. You just a slave. The scriptures say, is Israel a homeborn slave, homeborn servant? That's what the scriptures said. Are you? Do you like the condition that you're in right now? Do you like walking up down the street and being mean mugged, ready to kill another black man for no reason? You know what I'm saying? Do you like all the abortion and all of the drugs and guns in your neighborhoods? Do you love black people? Do you really? If you do, then you will hearken unto the voice of the Lord. You will do what the Lord told you to do. If he say, stop fucking on white hoes, stop fucking on Arabs and Africans and Asians to get out of this condition, to live, to be above all nations on the face of the earth, that's what you're supposed to do if you really love yourself and another black man and woman. Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
You cursed in the city. You know what I'm saying? Stop and frisk. Turn on the news. There go Philando Castile. Turn on the news. Another unarmed black man killed and murdered. Another sister beat up and choked out in an Asian nail salon and shot. Another, you can't use this bathroom, Starbucks. That's going to continue to happen until you wake up and realize that every nation on the face of the earth, every race of people hates black people, hates Hispanics and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
In the field, picking cotton, sugar cane. You know what I'm saying? Slaving for nothing. You in the prison system, 2 million deep, slaving for nothing. License plates, all types of stuff you making and building for the white man society. You know what I'm saying? That's a curse. Keep going.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
You ain't got no businesses that's prospering because you want to go and cling on to the other nations. You would rather shop at Macy's than shop at black business. It's a statistic saying that over 90% of black-owned businesses don't even make it past a year. You know what I'm saying? That's a curse. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Bible. Keep going.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. That's talking about the women, they children. You are committing abortions, 1,500 a day in Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities. It's a reason why Planned Parenthood is only in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason for this. Keep going.
And the fruit of thy land.
Keep going.
The increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
You ain't got no property. You don't got no land. You're not prospering. You're being oppressed in America. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say oppression maketh the wise man mad, but I don't see nobody mad out here. I don't see nobody mad at the suffering of black people. You know what I'm saying? At the enslavement of black people. We in Egypt again, and we need to get out of that. Grab some more on that article right there. You should go down, scroll down some. Let's see. Go down some more. Keep going. Engineering and construction. Read a little on that.
Khan. Engineering and construction. The great temples of ancient Egypt arose from the same technological skill one sees on the small scale of household goods. The central value observed in creating any of these goods or structures was a careful attention to detail.
And the white man worships that and worships Egypt. That's why it's in today's society. And that's why they fashion all of their structures and buildings after what Egypt was. Because they want their kingdom to be the greatest on the earth. That's really what it is. They want the greatest kingdom that ever in history. That's why they keep grafting in all of these cultures, all of these gods, all of these religions. You got something to say?
So I noticed like the palace of Egypt with the reflecting pool on the outside and the obelisk sitting there is exact mirror image of how the White House and the Washington Monument is.
Because it was built by Freemasons. If you, please, somebody, does anybody do any history or research? If you do, then you would know that Freemasons, that they that's what their whole purpose. They love that. That's their God. Their God is some rocks, just like Mecca. So they gonna worship that too. But in the scriptures, grab Deuteronomy 28 and 32. This goes hand in hand with the 68th chapter. This is another curse for our people. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters.
That who?
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
What does that sound like? Right here in front.
Somewhat. I want to say slavery, but sorry,
it's no sweat. You are correct. It is slavery. It is exactly what happened in Egypt and in today's society. When we came over here, that's what they did. 35, 45, the scriptures say they have casted lots for my people. They sold my people. The scriptures say, if thou stealeth the man, he's supposed to be put to death. Grab Revelation 13 and 9. Yeah, hold that. It's a crime to bring another people and another nation to slavery. The scripture believes in justice. It believes in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures also say that, you know, we as the Lord's chosen people is going to reward the white man double unto what he gave us. So in slavery, they were selling our babies, our kids, our children, splitting up our families, just like they're doing in America today at the border with the Hispanics, separating them, their families, you know what I'm saying? Putting them in kennels, dog cages. That's what they're doing over there at the border. You know what I'm saying? And the white man says he has the moral compass and it's just. The white man is bombing Syria, talking about they did this and did that to their own people. But you sit here and call Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people Americans, but then you turn around and murder them in the street. You turn around and separate their families, put them in kennels. You know what I'm saying? Grab that.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
If you got any type of understanding in your body, understand this.
He that leadeth into captivity.
If you steal people, put them on boats, chain them together, you know what I'm saying? Bring them over here, you know what I'm saying? into slavery. Read that one more time.
He that leadeth into captivity.
If you lead over 99 million Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people into slavery, then what? Go ahead.
Shall go into captivity.
That's only just. That's right. That's justice. I don't need reparations. I don't need money from the white man. I need justice, brother. I need justice for the injustice that's been happening to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people in America. You know what I'm saying? Black people have been the most patriotic, you know what I'm saying? Built, first off, we built this kingdom, this nation, this society. We fought in your wars. You know what I'm saying? We fought and died in your wars. You know what I'm saying? We are Americaned out. We celebrate your holidays and your Christmases. You know what I'm saying? And then we go into Christian church and worship you. But then you turn around and murder us in the street. Ain't that something? That's how the white man repays you for your loyalty, for your, obedience, for you wanting to be a good slave. That's how he rewards it. But the scriptures say we're going to reward, you know what I'm saying? Since we went into captivity, since you brought us into captivity, then you shall go into captivity. Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword.
He that killeth with the sword.
Must be killed with the sword.
You shooting Philando Castile down. You shooting that unarmed Black teen down the other day. You shall be killed with the sword. America is going to be destroyed, man. It's called the Battle of Armageddon in the scriptures. It says it's going to be purged with fire, lake of fire. The scriptures say your eyeballs are going to melt out your sockets. Your tongue is going to melt away, your flesh. That's what the scriptures say. But then you got homosexual pastors talking about God is all love. But the scriptures just said, he who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. If you kill with a sword, you're going to be killed with the sword. You're going to die. That's what the scriptures say. The scriptures say the Lord is a man of war. So get all of these sunshines, you know what I'm saying, rainbows out your head, all right? Even when the Lord gave the earth the rainbow, he killed everybody but 8 people. Know what I'm saying? How is that hugs and kisses? The Lord said he hates. Grab Romans 9:13. The Lord said there's 6 things he hates. Proud look, a lying tongue, a man who sheds innocent blood. Read that.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
As it is written in the Old Testament. Christians don't read the Old Testament, so they wouldn't know. Go ahead.
Jacob have I loved.
Jacob is the father of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He had his name changed to Israel. That's why we are the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Jacob has the Lord love. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
But Esau
is the white man in the white race. Every Russian, Italian, German that you see, every Spaniard that you see, they are Edomites. Go ahead.
But Esau have I hated.
The Lord just said it out of the scriptures. That these ain't my words. I didn't just write this just now. I didn't think it up and imagine it. It magically appeared on the page. This ain't no fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? That's thus saith the Lord, thus saith the scripture. And listening to your Christian church, that's how you believe that, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no hate in the Bible or the color. You know what? Let me just smash that real quick. Grab Revelations 1:13. Let's just smash that real quick. We'll show you color in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We'll show you. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Son of Man is always talking about Christ. Go ahead.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Had a garment on down to his foot. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a girdle on, war girdle, to protect his midsection. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs.
His head and his hairs. Hairs on his head and his facial hair. Go ahead.
Were white like wool, as white as snow.
Had a woolly texture. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Everybody knows that when black men and women drink wine, your eyes turn red. The whites of your eyes, not your pupils. Don't get something. Go ahead.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet up like unto what?
Fine brass.
Brass. Keep going.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Brass is brown. As if it burned in a furnace. So you know, if anything burns, it's black. It's all can be. But grab Deuteronomy 32 and 39, and here, scroll down on that real quick. Another thing I wanted to touch on briefly is the history on Roman religion. What the Romans believed is the same thing as what the Egyptians believed, and they believed in multiple gods. You know what I'm saying? That's where Christianity comes into play. Once they sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD, they took the records, stole the Bible, and they took Christianity and made it their own. Even Jews were in Rome at that time as well. That's also in the scriptures. Why do you think it's a book called Romans? Because there was some Jews there too. It was Jews keeping the practices, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So in Rome with Christianity, what they did was took our history and our scriptures and combined it with their gods. That's exactly what they did. You can't sit here and tell me that Christ died on a Friday and rose on a Sunday when that's not even 3 days. Is that 3 days? I thought that was only 2 days. That's 2 days, ain't it? From Friday to Sunday, that's 2 days, ain't it?
Yes.
Even a 5-year-old knows that's only 2 days. But go ahead. That's how you know something is wrong with Christianity. That's how you know. First off, you know something's wrong with it when they are pushing homosexuality, when in the scriptures it says that if you're a homosexual, you're supposed to be put to death. Your blood's upon you. Why do you think homosexuals catch a blood disease? Go down some more on that. Is that it? What was up above it? License. They had licenses. Is that?
No, just the license to the information.
Go up. Did you click on a different one?
I was scrolling down and it started doing something. I tried to go back.
Anyway, just grab that scripture.
Verse 39.
Yep.
All right. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he.
This is talking about the Most High. Go ahead.
And there is no God with me.
There ain't no God with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You out here celebrating Christmas. The Lord said, don't follow the ways of the heathen. You're supposed to be separate and holy. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be a separate and holy nation. You ain't supposed to be out here doing the same thing everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal.
That does not sound like all hugs and kisses, and the Lord loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? The moral of the story is this: never trust your enemy. You out here trusting the white man, when he's turning around and stabbing you in the back, turning around and murdering your people, oppressing your people. What you're supposed to do is be mad at that. And you're supposed to come together with your people. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, gather together, O nation not desired. No one loves us. No one wants to see us prosper. Not even our own people. That's why we got to come together, man. Once we do that, ain't no stopping us. That's what the white man's most afraid of. Just think of it like this. If every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian person stopped showing up to work for 2 months straight and came together and survived together and didn't spend no money in the white man's society, then their society will crumble. America will fall overnight. The scriptures say in the wharf in the valley of Jehoshaphat, scriptures say this place is going to be destroyed in an hour, America. 1 hour. And the white man knows it. That's why he's trying to do whatever he can to try to build up an army to stop and fight against the destruction. All right. So that's the end of the class. We're gonna go ahead and grab the prayers, and we're gonna go get up out of here. We're gonna it was a lot that I want to bring out with the, you know, the articles. So next time that I teach a class, I'll get the rest of it. But go ahead. I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest. You know what I'm saying? Goodbye to Bach. You're gonna read the security announcements.
Come. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf.
And that's for 3 months, and that's when you get your Hebrew name. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and go to the prayers. Amayim Wapanya Hapadam means stand and face the east. If you're not already standing, gonna face the east and say these prayers. I say it in Hebrew, you say it in English.
Come.
The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh.
Lakwaka.
Taba'ah.
Ratazaka.
Hayah.
Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Nathan. Lanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalakanawa. Kabawatinawa. Kasalakanawa. Kuwabawatinawa. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa. Wanasai 1.
Abal.
Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wa'atapara.
Lawilamyum.
Lawilamyum.
Aman.
Aman. The Lord's Prayer, English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. I.S.H.A.P.K. Ayanya. Aharium. Mayan. Yabah. Isaiah.
Mayum.
Yahweh.
I.S.H.A.P.K. Shamyam.
Warataza.
Al-Yadan.
Lamawah.
Ragalka.
Aniyawam.
Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Ya'yashan. Sharamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazakah. Ayad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wairak. Walayawa. Yahweh. Shamarka. Wakal
Yashamar. Athnapashka.
Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Wabawaka. Maitha. Why? Awalam. Psalm 121. I will lift up my eyes. Unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
Hakah, the power in Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem.
Yahushua.
Barakashah.
Nathanlanau. Hakah. Larapah. Kal. Makalah. Wakal. Madawa. Hakah. Latahar. Ha. Matazarium. Hakah. Lahaquim. Hamathium. Hakah. Al. Rakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
The water among. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner
The power to heal all manner
of sickness
and
all manner of disease.
all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the
The
lepers.
power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be.
Thank you, so be it. We're going to end it on that one. You know what to do. And Israel, give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Let's watch. I.S.U.P.K. Majid. Barak.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathah. Right? Class dismissed with Majid Matap. All right. Most High in Christ.